Okay, so Andre Heller, thank you so much for sparing some time with us today. Very happy to see you, and you're back from 14 months out in DRC. How was it?
It's a pretty crazy place to be. Spending 14 months there is definitely exhausting. It's definitely educational. You learn a tremendous amount about what's happening there. You get deeper and deeper into an incredibly complicated context. Essentially, we moved in to start doing medical work, somewhere corresponding with the genocide in Rwanda, because the conflict spilled over the border, and then basically sparked off 15 years of war that has been cyclically raging in that region. There's been about 250,000 people recently displaced with the conflict that started this August of this year. And that's the hot conflict that started. There was still conflict happening before that. So MSF has been a part of an aid effort that is ongoing, that's never stopping because the conflict seems to never stop out there as well.
Can you elaborate a little bit on who has access, how they have access, and the perception of access?
When people talk about access or lack of access, essentially what they're talking about is, can we move vehicles with supplies and with the goods, the relief goods that we need to move from point A to point B? That's what they're referring to when you hear a dialogue about access on the news. There's a lot of NGOs that rely on armed escorts with the UN. The UN has their forces out there. It's called MONUC, the mission in Congo, and they would go in convoys with them. Sometimes when things heat up, they're unable to move because of this. We don't rely on this network at all. We don't travel with armed escorts. We don't move our medical activities with UN vehicles. We're entirely independent, entirely on the side, and entirely neutral, and that's why it works so well for us.
Tell me about Condition Critical.
Essentially, Condition Critical was a chance for us to do some testimony of people that are actually living in the violence. I think that there's a total of about 8 people or so on the feature. And if you think about the number of displaced that are there, you have 8 people being interviewed telling their stories. But when you think about over 1 million people being there, these people are speaking for 125,000 people each. One thing I noticed in watching the Condition Critical piece is that there was a reoccurring theme from everybody, whether they were displaced or whether they weren't displaced in that, where everyone is just waiting for this thing to end. Everyone is just waiting to have a break.
Condition Critical is the name of the website, and it's also the film. What can people do with it?
Well, you can watch the feature on the website. You can also embed it in your blog or maybe in your MySpace or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But it will be updated regularly throughout the year with more testimony and more information from the field as we get it. So it's easy to send a link to friends too, so that other people can watch and learn about what's happening out there.